Good Wednesday morning. It's February 11th. I'm meteorologist Craig Moeller, and you found us here on the weather desk. And today we've got a great show lineup. Some really interesting stories coming in. I think some fun stories, some tough stories as well to pass along. Let's go ahead and jump into our weather headlines, what we're going to be focusing on today. Unfortunately, as I mentioned, a tough story right out of the gates. The New York City cold-related death toll continues to climb. We're going to talk about what's going on up in New York City. We'll take a look at just how cold it's been over the first 11 days of February. And, you know, January was bitter cold as well. So it's been very cold and, in fact, deadly up in New York City. We're going to talk about a giant crack in the ice. What are we talking about? Lake Erie, a massive crack. We'll show you that and some drone footage to show you just how big this thing is. That's up in Lake Erie. As we take a look, we've got an interesting story out of Florida about a manatee that was looking for some warmer water. He wound up getting himself into big trouble, but they were able to rescue this. We'll share the details on that. Out in California, resorts are grateful for snow, and we're going to tell you about some grandkids that are grateful for their grandpa because this grandpa is so cool, and we're going to share with you what he did to help his grandkids enjoy the cold and to make the most out of the winter season. Give you a little hint. It kind of ties in kind of to the Olympics. Really a cool thing that this grandpa did. Then we've got warmer days coming next week. If you are over the cold, and so many folks are, started getting some of our heating bills and some of the different utilities coming in from this just frigid span of weather that we've had here, and it's been so expensive. Well, we do have some relief coming next week, and we'll explain all of this coming up with this edition of the Weather Desk. We're going to start off, though, talking about New York City, and these are the numbers specifically for Central Park in New York City. You can see so far every day in February has been below normal in Central Park. I believe the normal high is 41 degrees, so you can see they have been below average each and every day up in New York City, and it's been very, very cold. Keep in mind, January, bitter cold as well. So while we're finally starting to thaw out a little bit here in Hampton Roads, in New York City, the freezing temperatures have been prolonged and they are turning deadly. Dave Carlin has more on the rising death toll.
Another cold weather death announced to a frost-weary city by Mayor Mamdani. The total is now 18.
The total lives lost is now 18. Each life lost is a tragedy, and we will continue to hold their families in our thoughts. I want to thank our dedicated agencies and every city worker who has worked tirelessly through these conditions.
Rock-solid ice mountains stretch up to the frosty sky. An Arctic look remains for this urban cityscape. Crews are toiling to get the ice gone and melted down. Everyone is urged to bundle up and look out for the most vulnerable among us, including those with no shelter and those stuck with no heat inside their homes.
It's still freezing. It's freezing out here.
Power is out for hundreds of customers in Brooklyn and elsewhere. The work to restore service continues around the clock, and the city set up dozens of warming buses and other brick and mortar centers after declaring Code Blue status, which reroutes emergency cold-related 311 calls to 911 for faster attention. For just about everyone, it means adjusting to this physically and mentally, overcoming frozen fatigue as we wait for this cold snap to end.
And as you can see, not only has it been cold through the first 10 days here in February up in New York City, the Northeast has been dry, and we are looking at more cold weather spilling down from Canada into the Northeast. This is through the day today, looking ahead to Thursday, and then the upcoming weekend. You can see more cold air, Montreal down through Boston, and this cold air diving in, another dose coming in as you look off to the north Saturday into Sunday. So it's going to be really cold there. Here we're actually going to see the temperatures moderating a little bit, and it has been a little bit warmer down to the south. south. But this prolonged period of cold weather back in the Northeast has gotten many bodies of water in the Northeast to pretty much freeze over. In some cases, almost completely freezing over. We're going to go ahead and take you up to Lake Erie here. All right, one of the Great Lakes, Lake Erie, and you can see right along Cleveland back over to Sandusky, Ohio. These areas, Erie, it has been so cold. We want to show you, though, some strong winds caused a massive crack in the ice covering Lake Erie. This drone video was taken in Lake County, Ohio. That crack is estimated to be about 1 to 2 miles wide and at least 80 miles long. Alan Nassoff shows us more.
Huge crack has formed in the ice on Lake Erie, prompting warnings to stay off. But some people are still headed to Edgewater to venture out onto the ice this day.
We walked a little bit further out, and I heard cracking.
Oh boy, when did you hear that cracking? What did you think when you heard that cracking?
There were a couple times. So once it was a minimal crack, like it sounded like a shallow crack, not like thunder from underneath your feet.
Then Alyssa Webb said the sound got louder.
Hearing that big thump crack.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And when you heard that
it
crack,
made my heart jump up into my chest.
Oh my
scary.
gosh. Alyssa and Clay aren't the only ones who heard those cracks.
And as I was standing right there taking a picture, I heard a little crack and I said, I'm out.
And the unpredictability of the ice is why Cleveland Fire Lieutenant Mike Norman says it's best to enjoy the lake from the edge of the water, not on it.
Even as that surface is frozen, there are currents running underneath. The river is still running underneath that ice. That can create different depths to the ice. It's just not safe to go out on that ice.
Something to watch up there, and that's a massive crack there in Lake Erie, the ice over Lake Erie. All right, we're going to talk about what's going on nationally. You can see some wet weather working across the southeast. We've had plenty of cold weather. It's actually been warmer more recently in Orlando, but remember, even down into Florida, temperatures dipped below freezing earlier this month, and that cold snap sent one manatee searching for warmer water, which is likely how it ended up stuck in a storm drain. Megan Moriarty reports from Orlando.
This gentle giant is now recovering, but just 24 hours earlier, he was found stuck inside a storm drain in Melbourne Beach. Chopper 2 flew over the scene where fire rescue crews helped get the nearly 7-foot-long manatee out from under the concrete. Crews cheering once they were able to get him safely above ground.
That was really, really awesome that someone was able to spot him, because if he was not being able to be found, he would not have a fortunate outcome like right now.
City crews say they were in the process of improving their storm drains when they discovered the manatee inside what's called a baffle box. Baffle boxes collect trash and debris so it doesn't end up in the Indian River Lagoon. But instead, it captured this guy. FWC says he was moving around and wasn't showing any signs of distress, but he was taken to SeaWorld late Monday to get care. And Tuesday, he was eating, which is a good sign.
And then once we can get his blood analyzed and we can get a treatment plan, then I'm hopeful for his recovery.
But for many people who live in Melbourne Beach, they have one question.
How did it get there?
While the team at SeaWorld doesn't have the exact answer, they have some guesses.
It could be the manatees need to find warm water, so maybe he was trying to find warm water somewhere. But it's hard to say exactly what the cause was.
All in all, this manatee's road to recovery is off to a good start.
Just wonderful is the first word. Beautiful. I'm glad that they saved him.
That is one very lucky manatee that they found him and they were able to get him out. Looks like he's doing much better now. Great to see that. Well, we'll take a look at the snow depth across the country, and really we're going to focus on what's happening out on the West Coast, because while most of us in the East Coast are happy to be done with this latest round of wintry weather, it's a different story out here on the West Coast, where ski resorts around Tahoe in Northern California are finally getting some fresh powder after a dry and disappointing January. Connor McGill has a closer look at the conditions near Lake Tahoe.
Yesterday it was sunny, there's no snow.
After a dry and disappointing January, a February storm system is bringing a much needed change. A winter weather system is pushing steady rain and snow through the Sierra. dropping fresh powder across the passes and at Sierra resorts.
Finally, we got the snow. It's a little powdery today.
With the fresh powder, it's much softer.
The higher peaks and passes could see 6 to 12 inches, with some Sierra resorts picking up as much as 12 to 18 inches by the time this system wraps up. During the state's last survey on January 30th, officials measured the snowpack at 47% of normal for this time of year.
The climate has changed. 35 years ago, we didn't have the problem of not having enough snow. Now it's more difficult.
Caltrans says the storm is a reminder that winter is far from over and drivers need to take it seriously.
Mother Nature, season-wise, is still saying it's winter and giving us finally that reminder again. So like the big one is just going to make sure for those drivers that are going to be heading up either the next couple of days or even over the weekend, is just be prepared.
And with several feet of snow possible next week, this could be the beginning of a much bigger shift for the Sierra.
Yeah, as we've gone through such a cold and brutal situation here in the east and the northeast over the last month and a half, after that exceedingly wet start to the season, you remember how long they had gone through that wet and colder weather out west. Well, now they've been in this dry, warmer run, and that's been prolonged. So getting a little bit of snow out there, obviously they are happy to have that. All right, we're going to take you to another part of the country and talk about a super cool grandpa who's helping his grandkids make the most out of their winter. That's coming up after this quick break, just 2 minutes. Stay tuned. We're going to talk about that and when Hampton Roads is going to see some even warmer weather. That's coming up. Welcome back. I love this story. We have this grandpa in Minnesota, and we're going to talk about what he's done to bring a little taste of the Olympics back home to his grandkids near Minneapolis. So here we go. I want you to check this out. Steve Blees built a backyard luge track dubbed the Papa Bear Plunge after back-to-back winter storms. Now, the track is about 300 feet long, and it took him more than 100 hours to build.
The idea came from in the summer cutting the grass, and I'm going, this is a perfect hill for a slide.
I'm just very grateful to have a grandpa who does this, and I really love it. It's really fun.
Any grandparent will tell you all they want to do is have fun and take care of the grandkids.
This isn't the first track he's built either. 3 years ago, he built a similar luge, but hasn't been able to make another one until now because of Mother Nature. Kids certainly seem to be having a great time with that. And again, up in Minnesota, they have had their share of snow. Let's talk about what's going on here in Hampton Roads and about that warmer weather in the forecast. You look back to last week and it was chilly, 35 on Thursday, 40 on Friday, really cold through the weekend and into Monday. Yesterday, 58 degrees. We finally broke that streak of days with below normal temperatures that began on January 22nd. It had been that long since we had been above average, and we got there yesterday on the 10th of February. Now, as we go through the day today, our warmest temperatures so far, 58. We're actually going to see temperatures going down later this afternoon as a cold front's coming through, and that is dropping our temperatures, and we'll set up even cooler days coming up for our Friday or Thursday and Friday. You see that temperatures tomorrow in the lower to mid 40s and low 40s on Friday. But after that, look at this, temperatures back to near 50. Valentine's Day, we'll talk more about that. Really a great day for maybe spending some time outside with that special someone in your life. You've got mostly sunny skies there. Rain develops on Sunday. We'll talk about increasing wind Sunday into Monday coming up in a moment here as well. Tuesday, staying close to 50 and then low 60s on Wednesday and 67 on Thursday. Some real warmth there, 59 or 60 there on Friday, then a little cooler next Saturday. Bottom line is we're going to get at least a few days with much warmer weather. And after how cold it's been in December into January and now February, I think we're ready for it. We'll enjoy that warm up. All right, our average high is 53. Right now we do have some clouds out there, had some sprinkles, and I guess technically we're still tracking a few showers out there. We'll take a look at our temperatures. And again, temps are down. We were at 58 when I came in this morning early around 3:15 or so in the morning. It was very, very cold, or very warm rather, and now those temperatures are starting to cool down. So while we had temperatures earlier mid to upper 50s, we are falling now close to 50 and upper 40s, Tappahannock and Saluda. Temperatures still warmer down to the south, and again, that front pushing through the area. That front's been a catalyst for a few showers. And again, early this morning, we had some scattered wet weather. You'll notice later this afternoon, though, clearing skies, and it is going to become mainly clear overnight. So those showers, again, associated with this front pushing through the area, more widespread through the Carolinas, down into Georgia, and even some heavier rain across northern sections of Georgia. Most of Virginia already drying out, but a few sprinkles still possible. You see snow for New York State, very quiet out in the central U.S. Wanted to show you the winds. We've got our front. You see the wind shift out there. That's out ahead of the front. That front pushing through the area, and now that colder, drier air set to come in. So we do have a few sprinkles. We just showed you that live sky view from the Thompson Creek Window Company, and that was looking south from right around Rudy Inlet here. Farther to the south, down along Sand Bridge and around Back Bay, we've got some light to moderate showers for you. You can see the rain a little more widespread down around the Albemarle Sound. Still a few lingering showers back across northern sections of Virginia Beach into Chesapeake, and the last of the sprinkles exiting up around Melville. Once you get up to the northern neck and back north of Richmond, skies are already clearing out. So again, we do have this light activity. It won't be with us that much longer. Honestly, by about 10 o'clock or so, most of this stuff should be out of here. Showers will linger a little bit later down to the south, but this is all set to move out, and then the drier air comes in from the north. You pick up our future cast and you can see how this plays out. Again, those showers moving away, and then we're going to see the clearing and temperatures this afternoon falling down to near 50 for a while, pretty much where we are right now. It'll hold steady for a little bit, and then into the upper 40s, eventually the low 40s by 9 o'clock. And overnight, we're down into the 30s. It's going to be a much cooler night tonight. Temperatures tomorrow morning down about 20 or 25 degrees in some cases from where we were this morning. Now, as we look ahead to our Thursday, again, low to mid 40s widespread, and Friday I think is going to be even cooler. We get a few high thin clouds coming through on Thursday, but as we look ahead to Friday, it's going to be mostly sunny and again quite chilly. Temperatures upper 30s to low 40s across the region. After that, we start to warm it back up for Saturday and into Sunday, so we will look forward to that warmer weather coming back in. Let's talk rain chances. All right, so the showers that are out there this morning move out. Our Thursday looks pretty dry. Friday should be dry as well with sunshine for the most part for both of these days. Saturday looking good, mostly sunny for Valentine's Day. Then Sunday, we expect numerous showers as we've got a frontal boundary kind of lifting through the area, and Monday a chance for showers early in the morning. After that, we should dry back out and temperatures will be warming up. Let's take a look at our rain chances with the GFS model here, and you can see how this area of low pressure kind of moves along here, triggering showers Sunday and Sunday night into early Monday. That low pulls off. It's going to get windier on Monday with that coastal low swinging offshore. We'll see the winds picking up on the backside of that, but it is a progressive system. It's not like a true nor'easter where you have the low form here and it comes up along the coast. In this case, it's going to work from west to east and keep moving so that by Monday evening, that low will be pulling away. So we'll see that, and then the rain chances will be diminished after that as well. We'll welcome the warmer weather that will eventually build in for the middle of the week. Take a look at our winds, though. I did want to mention as we get into the weekend, and we're going to stop it here Sunday. It doesn't look bad in the morning, but later Sunday, those winds starting to pick up a little bit. Now, one thing that's important to note when I show this graphic, these are 10-meter winds, so you're up about 33, 34 feet or so up in the sky. So it's not down to the ground. You think about like the weather that we experience, the winds right at the surface. You go up and you get above some of that friction, the winds can be a little bit stronger. And I note that because into Monday, we could see some of those winds really picking up on the backside of that storm system as it goes away. Right now, I think the observable winds down to the surface are generally going to be pretty close to 30 miles per hour, maybe 35, but up a little bit, those winds will be howling. So we'll be watching that. We'll let you know. All right, the Chesapeake Bay today has pretty quiet conditions, but those gusts could reach about 20 knots a little bit later on, and later tonight into tomorrow, we do have small craft advisories that will be going up. You can see on the ocean, we're also looking at winds gusting up to about 20 knots, the seas 3 to 4 feet. Low tide around 10:47 this morning, and the high tide at 4:22 this afternoon. All right, let's take a look at the forecast then for today. Temperatures mid to upper 50s near the coast, near 60 around Suffolk and Franklin. Again, the showers that we saw earlier pretty much done. There might be a stray shower kind of lingering the southernmost parts of these cities here along the state line, but it's pretty much done now. Off to the north, we're seeing improvements as well. Temperatures have been in the mid to upper 50s. It's going to cool down this afternoon. A little warmer down to the south. Still those showers, especially around the Albemarle Sound. We'll see that stuff moving out as we go past noon today. Overnight tonight, the low should fall to about 31 degrees. Skies are going to be clear. It will be turning colder overnight in some areas, generally in the low 30s, but there might be a spot or two even in the upper 20s. For tomorrow, mostly sunny, low to mid 40s. Looking forward to more sunshine tomorrow. And then as we look ahead over the rest of the 7-day forecast period, Friday also mostly sunny with a high near 42. For Valentine's Day, back up to 50, looking great for Hampton Roads. Temperatures slightly below average. Our normal high for this time of year is 53, so a little bit below average. Sunday, that rain likely, and then the wind picking up Sunday night into Monday as that coastal system, that low pressure, swings off the coast and pulls away. By later Monday into Tuesday, we should enjoy more sunshine. So things looking really, really good there. Want to remind you, you can always find more information from weather if you follow us on our various platforms, including this way that you can find me on social media. Facebook, if you search Craig Moeller, you'll find me. Instagram, Craig Moeller TV, and on Twitter, 13 Craig Moeller. Those are the handles where you can find forecast updates and interact if you have questions about what we do here on the Weather Desk. The best way to stay connected to 13 News Now is by downloading our mobile app. The 13 News Now app is completely free, available at Google Play and on the App Store. Lots of great information there. You've got traffic updates, weather updates, and news updates all sent out to your phone, so you can always have it at your fingertips when you're on the go. I want to remind you, we do the Weather Desk each and every weekday morning starting at 9 o'clock, typically about half an hour or so with the length on these. And we focus not only on Hampton Roads weather, but obviously, as we showed you this morning, In today's edition of the Weather Desk, we take a look at what's going on nationally and internationally. When there's big space stories, we talk about that as well as addressing climate issues and other things going on. So if you know somebody that is really crazy about the weather, let them know about the Weather Desk. Again, here at 13 News Now and 13 News Now Plus specifically, we have all kinds of special content around the Weather Desk. And then streaming, we do special other weather things as needed, where we have some long formats that you will find right here on 13 News Now Plus. I hope you've enjoyed this edition of the Weather Desk. Again, I'm meteorologist Craig Moeller. I look forward to seeing you next time.